Welcome back to Detroit Next. I'm here with mayoral candidate DaNetta Simpson. Uh, let's talk about how the campaign's going for you so far.
Well, it's going pretty good for me so far. I'm an independent. I'm someone new. I'm someone fresh. And so I don't have all the money that the other candidates has because they are politically connected.
All right. Let's talk about the fact that, this isn't your first time running. You've run for mayor before. You ran in 2021. You run for
In
statewide.
2017,
Yeah, and 2017. And you've run for some statewide seats. What have you learned from those campaigns and those election cycles that you're carrying with you in this one?
okay, what I learned from that is that I'm a primary winner, regardless of how many candidates are running, because I be the only candidate that's running as independent. I don't have an opponent in that category. And non-affiliation party of Michigan. And I wanted to make sure that people are aware that I'm someone new. I'm a new voice. I'm someone new that can give them a different opportunity of what they has been getting. And some of the things they has been getting is because the other mayors has taken my advice and have taken some of my platform and used it.
All right. So, like I said, you've run a few times before. What do you think qualifies you most to be mayor of Detroit? We're at a really interesting time in our city's history. Obviously, we're not going to have some of the financial help that we had from Washington that we had during the Biden administration, and we're going to have those pension obligations coming up due pretty soon. What qualifies you to deal with those problems? Like, let the people know.
Well, I'm an independent thinker, and I'm an independent candidate as well. And we are a fresh voice for Washington. We haven't been in any past or previous debt with the government administration. So that's a plus for us as well. And far as the new pensions and stuff are going, the way I plan on running the city, it will help them. That way we can stir the cuts that they have suffered. We can replace those cuts. So with the independent candidate, that's what Detroit needs right now.
All right. Let's get into some specifics real quick. First, I should let people know this is a nonpartisan race, so political affiliation, party wise, is irrelevant for the mayor's race. But good to know that you are thinking as an independent in this race. What qualifications in your background, are going to help you make decisions for Detroiters?
Well, I'm a lifetime resident. Okay, first of all, I lived in the struggle, not too far from the Black Bottom on the east side, and I've lived in the struggle with most of the residents in the city of Detroit within the past 40 years, 40 to 45 years now. So I have a lot in common with them. I have experienced what they have experienced. I have been left out, and so have them.
All right. So you mentioned being left out. I assume you mean left out of some of the mayoral forums that have taken place, correct?
That's one. And two, I have been left out because I'm an independent, because I have not been able to express my candidacy as a voice for the people because I don't have the financial backing behind me.
All right. So, Danetta, you mentioned that you don't quite have the financial backing of some of the other candidates, yet, you did get on the ballot, so you were able to collect signatures, meaning you do have some support from people in the community. What have you been hearing from voters that are in support of your campaign?
Well, they support me because of gun control. And I'm keeping my promise from 2017 to present, that I made a promise to them that I wanted to fix the neighborhoods. And I'm able to fix the neighborhoods because I have a new vision. I have a new idea that will bring vision and hope and disparity to the neighborhoods where no one will be left out.
All right. So let's get into some of these ideas. You mentioned gun control. What are some ideas you have for solving that issue here in Detroit?
Well, one, we have a big gun problem upon Afro Americans. And we have to change our mindset on how to solve our issues, our problems that we come into face with every day. And one way I would solve that is not allowing guns in the wrong hands for certain people. And far as like mental illnesses cannot have guns, felons cannot have guns. So we need to make public places safe for them so they don't have to feel like they need a gun, you know. And I established a no gun policy. That's some of it is a law, but it's not a law in all places, public places. And I would like to see that change. And also, under the law, you have trafficking and you have trafficking under the law, but you don't have trafficking under the gun law. Transporting a firearm and trafficking a firearm, that needs to become law. And that will stir a lot of gun violence that has taken place in the city of Detroit.
All right. Well, I guess I'm still trying to get some specifics on if you're elected, what would you specifically do as mayor to combat gun violence in Detroit? Does that look like additional funding for the Detroit Police Department? Does that look like more attention on community violence intervention programs? What would your philosophy be there?
It will be both. I would like to get more money to come in for intervention for prevention. Okay, I started preventing crime in 2005. Okay, and I had other administrations to use my idea to prevent crime, and it has been successful, but it's not their recipe. It's mine.
What other administrations have used your template?
Duggan, he has used crime prevention. That's why in certain areas, some of the crime statistics are down. I actually joined him in 2017, but I didn't choose to work for him. Not because he wasn't a good candidate, but because, or his administration, it's because I'm independent and I have my own ideas.
All right, let's get into some more of those ideas. Let's talk about neighborhood investment. That's something that all the candidates have talked about in one way or another, whether that be um, Durhal's idea of community business corridors, or whether that be Santil's idea of really doing a lot for youth after school in some of those more dangerous times of day. What are your ideas for investing in community and also keeping people safe?
Well, first of all, with investing in the community, I feel like we need to come up with our own insurance that covers deterioration, what other insurance companies do not cover. Like if our porches, our housing, our roofs, our gutter system, we need painting done. You know, far as the
Like home
structure,
repair.
home repair, the structure of the house. See, grants only cover when there's an emergency need. And the loan everybody is not qualified for. Under the city insurance program, we will be able to leave the blight.
All right.
And
Can you,
that way it won't be reoccurring in our neighborhoods.
yeah, can you talk me through how that process would look? I'm not really familiar with establishing a citywide insurance. What would go into making that a reality?
Well, what you gotta do, you gotta find the constituents that are interested, and those that aren't interested, they have to apply for it. And we will charge a certain amount of fee, small amount, which is not gonna be ridiculous. You don't have to have a credit score. You don't have to have income. You have to be a basic resident of the city of Detroit. This program will cover landlords, tenants, commercials, owners, as well as, you know, business owners that are renting from commercial landlords and landlords of dwellings. This way, this will help them to improve their business. Like you see McDonald's and the gas station changes up so many years. They have a program that they pay into. And that's what I want to bring to the city of Detroit.
So that's how you would fund it, just having people that are interested pay into it?
Yes. Yes. Or if I get an independent governor in there, he can make it law.
So you'd be talking about amending state law, and
Yeah.
using relationships in Lansing to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
What existing relationships do you have in Lansing now? I know that a lot of the candidates have talked about how we're gonna have to rely on Lansing with the lack of federal support in the coming years. What relationship building have you already done with folks in Lansing?
Well, I have had a community relationship with some of the people in Lansing, but I'm a party of my own. I don't have a political base like everybody else has.
Got it. Uh, One of the other issues we hear about often, especially here at Detroit Next, is affordable housing, right? We've heard candidates talk about how the term itself isn't even adequate to talk about what we're looking for. What's your philosophy on increasing affordable housing in Detroit? Are there programs that are already around that you've kind of looked at, or models
Yes.
from other cities that you would be looking to adopt? What's your strategy there?
Well, affordable housing is around, but there's not enough of it. Okay. And that's what I'm saying about the city insurance program. Like those houses that are in the land bank and they apply for the city insurance, that can help them fix the houses up to code. That will take a burden off them. So that will bring more affordable housing. And also under my Affordable Housing Act, I plan to grandfather the property taxes. What I mean by that is any residence that has been here 25 years or 20, at least 20 years or longer, that your taxes will be grandfathered. And those that are doing new construction, I would give a tax break on that as well. And also on the existing homes that we're going to be doing repairs on them. We're not going to raise your taxes because we're doing repairs on your resident. We're going to make it affordable for you because you may be revitalizing your house, but I don't mean you are replacing it. Just you are tearing out a porch that was already existed and you had already been taxed on that. So we don't want to put the homeowners in double jeopardy.
All right. You mentioned the land bank, so I guess I'll go straight to that. Another hot button issue for not just mayoral candidates, but city council candidates that we've been talking to. Uh, what do you think about the land bank? I mean, some people want it completely demolished. Other candidates think maybe we need to retool it because the system we had beforehand wasn't working either. What's your thoughts there?
Well, I'm always looking for change. I will keep the land bank in place. That way we can keep track of the land. But I will change some rules and regulations that needs to be changed. And third of all, um, some candidates want to dismantle it because of fraud, okay? Because of they has been frauding the government too. So we need to keep the land bank open just to make sure there's no fraud has taken place.
All right. So what I'm hearing is we don't need to completely get rid of it. We need to use it to keep track of the properties.
Yes, we do.
Um, how
What's
do you
coming in and out?
Yeah. How do we increase some of that accountability and transparency Detroiters have been wanting to see from the land bank?
Well, I will make it more consistent where it's easier for you to get a result from that. And the property that comes in, out monthly, I will issue a report of those what's been sold, what's coming in, and what's coming out.
Got it. And you think that would help Detroiters kind of get an understanding of who these properties are going to?
Yes, and who owns them.
Got it. What do we do about the idea that Detroiters have complained for a long time that the land bank is selling many parcels to developers instead of the residents who are here? How do you uh, make sure that these properties are actually landing in the hands of Detroiters?
Well, first of all, they would have to be Detroiters to apply for it. And by I will prove that by their residency requirements. How long have they lived here? What verification can they produce.
All right. Another issue that keeps coming up for us is what to do about the climate crisis. Obviously, in certain parts of the city, they flood when we get heavy storms. In other parts of the city, they just live with abundant air pollution. How would you, as mayor, kind of address some of these problems?
Well, I will say concern on the air pollution because we don't know the toxins that they're engaging into our community. So that will be very important to me to keep the testing done on what they're polluting. So I will keep in contact of all the residents, all the businesses and what they're polluting into the area to make sure of that.
All right. So the Stellantis plant over on the east side, they do air quality testing, and even when the state has given them, fines and violations.
But the thing is, they don't have the material or the pollution that will dissolve the issue that what residents are complaining about. We need to find a solution.
Right, and that's what I'm asking. Do you have any ideas of what that solution might be if you're elected?
I have to find out what they're using to do to resolve that issue.
Got it. And then in Southwest Detroit, obviously there's the Marathon Refinery that probably gets the most press for air pollution, but obviously you have Zug Island over there. Southwest Detroit being one of the most polluted areas in the state. What can you tell residents in that part of the city about what you would do as mayor to protect their health, their children's health, their grandchildren's health?
Well, one thing I would do, I will find out what areas over there has been violated for previous pollutions, and I will make sure that that area is not continuing to seek those violations to the citizens of the city of Detroit. And then I will keep an eye watch on them, make sure that what they're polluting is continuing to be tested.
All right, and I only have a few more questions, but let's stick in Southwest for just a second.
Mhm.
One of the big issues that I've been hearing from residents and even from some elected officials over there is the trucking. Trucks just driving down residential streets all the time, not just ruining the infrastructure over there, but just being noisy and causing neighborhood nuisances for people that live there. Uh, what what kind of relationship do you think you have to the businesses that are causing those nuisances, and what can be done to uh, maybe help improve the quality of life for the residents who are dealing with that?
Well, I would try to form a relationship with them and see what's necessary for them to be trucking in the area and necessary for them not to be in the area, you know. And also I will make sure that our infrastructure can hold their their weight of transportation.
Right. I mean, I think that's one of the issues is that our infrastructure can't.
Well, they're using cheap material and they need to provide better quality material.
They meaning who in this
Who's
instance?
the persons that's doing the roads. I will communicate with Lansing to find out um who's paving our roads.
Got it. And then just last question. Obviously August 5th is election day, but absentee ballots are already out. People are already casting their votes. What message do you have for that large number of undecided voters, people that are still trying to figure out what candidate is right for them? What message do you have for them?
Well, I don't blame them for taking their time because this is an open wide seat and people need to take into consideration that this is a seat um and a leader that they pick for the next 4 years is going to affect their life for the next 4 years. And they need to take time to pick the right candidate and not name recognition, not because they're a millionaire, not because they have a relationship with other cronies downtown. You need to elect somebody who has the right idea, not the old way. The old way is not the new way because the old way has ran its course. And it's time for the new way. Like I'm talking about city insurance, I'm talking about deterioration around our houses, far as our gutters, our roofs, our windows. We have different programs, but again, everybody don't qualify for that. So my program will be citywide for everyone.
All right. Mayoral candidate DaNetta Simpson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And education is very important too. That's
Awesome.
very important. I would like tutors in the school to help the teachers to wean out the students that are learning and those that are not.
Got it.
And I appreciate you all for having me today. I'm DaNetta Simpson, and I hope they vote for me because it's time to replace the old with the new.
All right.
And I'm independent.
Detroit Next is a community-led project from BridgeDetroit and Detroit is Different, which means that we can't do this work without you. We need your support. If you have a question or a comment and want to participate in this process throughout the year, give us a call. We have a phone line set up at 313-284-6407. Leave us a message and we'll play it on the podcast. If you like what we're doing, head to bridgedetroit.com and subscribe to our newsletters. All of that content, again, is free, no paywalls for anybody. We're trying to make this as accessible as possible. Head to our YouTube channel to get full episodes and interviews along with extra content throughout the year. You can also find the audio version of this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and DetroitNext.podbean.com. We're going to be doing this all year long, so stay with us. Follow Bridge Detroit and Detroit is Different on your favorite social media platforms and take this ride with us. Thanks.